Hello students, let us start the second part of the chapter power sharing. As we already discussed in the first part about power sharing, that what is power sharing, and the main thing is the story of the power sharing, where we try to clear the concept of power sharing through the story of Belgium and Sri Lanka. Now here the question raised is that is power sharing desirable? In deeply divided society, that is like the divided on the basis of ethnic, cultural, religious ground, etc., equal representation of all the principal groups is called for, and every social group needs a share in the governance to ensure that their interests would be taken care of, and that is why power sharing is desirable. This power sharing is desirable on two grounds: prudential reason. Power sharing is good because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between two social groups. Power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political order. It is not just that majority community is overtake the minority community, but it looks like that in a short term, but in a long term, it undermines the unity of nation. Tyranny of the majority is not just oppressive for the minority, it often brings ruin to majority as well. Prudential reasons stress that power sharing will bring out the better outcomes. Moral reasons. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. A democratic rule involves sharing power with those affected by exercise and who have to live with it. A democratic government is a legitimate government where one citizens through participation acquire a stake in the system. So the moral reason emphasizes the very act of power sharing is as valuable. Power sharing. So I hope the word power sharing is clear. The simple meaning of power sharing is the process where to run the whole process or to administrate the whole process, it is very easy to give or to distribute the powers to other. Now let us take an example of school. Here in school, if we give the whole power to a principal, it is not possible for principal to administrate the whole school in a good manner. A school run in a very good manner if the power is distributed to the class teachers, and then class teachers distribute power to their monitors. This is how we see better outcomes of power sharing. Sharing of power must in democracy. One basic principle of democracy is that the people are the source of all political power In a democracy, people rule themselves through institutions of self-governance. On the other hand, in a good democratic government, due respect is given to diverse groups and their views that exist in a society, where everyone has a voice in shaping of the public policies. So this is how for a good democracy power sharing must be there. Forms of power sharing. In a democratic or democracy, power sharing arrangement can take many forms. Let us understand each and every form one by one, where the power is shared among different organs of government. This type of power sharing is a horizontal distribution of power, where the power is distributed among three different organs of the government. Obviously, these organs are the executive, that is the government, legislative, the parliament, and judiciary. They all are autonomous body, and on other hand they are also interdependent on each other. The work of executive is to implement the law. The work of legislative is to make the laws, while the work of the judiciary is to take care of the power. The second form of power sharing is where the power can be shared among the different levels of government. This is also called the vertical distribution of power sharing. Here the power is divided into three different levels. The first is the union government or the central government. It is not possible for the union government and the central government to administrate the whole nation itself. So that is why it gives some powers to the state government, which is the second level, state level, to run democratic system in a good way. The state level in India also distributed their powers to local level, which is divided into two parts in India. After the year 1993, the enactment of the Panchayati Bill, the two levels are the urban through municipalities and in rural through panchayats. The next type of power sharing is a power where the power can be shared among the different social groups, such as the religious or linguistic groups. In some countries, there are constitutional and legal arrangements whereby socially weaker sections and women and other whatever ST, SC, OBCs are represented in the legislature and administrations. As in India also, this type of arrangement is meant to give space in the government and administrations to diverse social groups. This method is used to give minority community a fair share in power. Any kind of minority community on the basis of religion, linguistic, caste, and the fourth form of power sharing where the power arrangements can also be seen in the way of political parties, pressure groups, and movements. It ensures that power does not remain in one hand only, while the power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Sometimes it is direct when two or more parties form an alliance and to contest elections, and this is how they form a coalition government. Interest groups also have interest groups which is also known as the pressure groups also have a share in the government power, either through the participation in the government communities or bringing influence on the decisions making process. So this is how we see that how the power is shared among different levels, organs, among different social groups, and through the political parties, pressure groups, and movements, etc. Later, when we discuss the in the second and the other chapters like the federalism, pressure groups, and movements, etc., the word pressure groups and interest and their concept is easily clear. I hope the chapter is clear in our mind. Even then, if there is any kind of problem, please comment to me. Thank you.